Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gaming Daddy channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I have been playing the game and very minimally on stream because I do have spoilers in my stream and I don't want to ruin it too much for anybody. Like, if you look at my streams, they are basically an hour long. In fact, one of them was just 30 minutes long. And I'm doing it that way in bite sizes because I want to be as much as I can sensitive to people who want to keep away from spoilers, but at the same time I want to play the game and kind of showcase, as much of the moment I can get. So some story plots are going to be disjointed. I purposefully started the game after the beginning story plot, so you don't get to see that stuff on my channel anyways until later down the road when we start talking in depth about the game. But there are a few things that I wanted to just go ahead and highlight with the game. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the open world. I think that is one of the best things that the development team have actually done. The way that they've set up the game, the way that they've done the world setting and all of that. I think the game is right now in a good standing. There are a lot of criticisms for the new Assassin's Creed, delivery, and it's really interesting to get all the opinions and kind of see what's going on. Some people aren't really excited about the game. Some people say they're excited about the game. I think at the end of the day, those who want to play an Assassin's Creed game will play it. Those who want to explore the open world will play it. And those who want to get it on sale will wait to get it on sale and then play it. And that's just exactly what it is that, this franchise has become. It's a very significant, franchise in the Ubisoft catalog. In fact, they actually touted about Odyssey, how well it did in their last earning call. And I think Assassin's Creed Valhalla is that game that will have, a lot of those same results, if not better than, the Odyssey game itself. Now, when you look at a lot of the open world aspects of this game, it's actually quite unique and very different. It has a narrative to it, then it has a big, massive open world on top of it. In a realistic sense, you gotta give props to Ubisoft for bringing this game out as consistently as they can in 2-year windows and the massive scale of a game this is. Putting a narrative on top of an open world, on top of the aspects and the side missions really do make for a solid game. Remember when Ghost of Tsushima came out in the summer, a lot of the people that had played that game, including myself, we just thought that this game, Ghost of Tsushima was going to kill Assassin's Creed. But trust me, the way they do Assassin's Creed's formula is just a force to reckon with. Even if you're not going to buy it, you're still going to glance and say, I wonder what this game actually has to hold. And then you also have the criticisms as well of this game being a copycat. And that's one thing I wanted to highlight in this video. And I laugh and say being a copycat is not necessarily a bad thing. I think with Origins, Ubisoft was trying to test out and see if Assassin's Creed Origins could somewhat, fulfill the niche of that Witcher need. I think The Witcher 3 was basically a bigger inspiration than any other game that I've seen out there for Ubisoft to go this direction with their Assassin's Creed games. And Assassin's Creed Origins was widely accepted. Even though there were some criticisms, a lot of people loved and enjoyed the game itself. And so I think with that response, they decided to move further and further with this model that they're actually implementing. And that's a big deal. It was the fan and the community response that just, basically opened up the floodgates. And now we saw Odyssey, which also did very well in terms of sales. And now we're seeing Valhalla following this formula, which is a refresh of everything that they've done. I haven't played the old Assassin's Creed games. I think that's basically where, my own experience will stop because, not playing the old Assassin's Creed games doesn't give me kind of the perspective of what those games have to offer. And I see it, I've seen comments of people say, oh, you didn't play the Assassin's Creed 3 game, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't. I own it. It's in my Ubisoft library because they've been giving out a lot of these games for free over the years. But the Odyssey game that I played, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that game already kind of like sold me, and I think that's the goal. The goal is to bring in a new audience, and I think they're going to continue to bring in a new audience. A lot of people who may not be able to, or who may not have experienced The Witcher at the time it came out, will probably not play it, but Assassin's Creed kind of has that brand name, and we're going to continue to see the franchise. So with the way they've set up the open world, with the way they've set up everything, I feel like this game really does cover that aspect of exploration. You can just basically just make your way across the map. All of the side missions and side quests are just, in a sense, free form, where you pretty much just at the initial stage anyways, you can move to any of the location markers. They are marked with very light UI indicators. If you notice, from when the game was in the beta phase till the delivery date, the one thing a lot of people kind of talked about was how the UI was busy. I remember the early reveals, the UI really did look very busy, and I think they went ahead and did some real good patching up to clean up a lot of that UI clog, and now you can really see your open world. You can enjoy it a lot, and you don't really need some HUD map in the corner or some random huge quest list. They just kind of did away with that, and this was something people were applauding in Ghost of Tsushima. And I don't know if around that time they saw that Ghost of Tsushima was actually gaining a lot of applause for that system, that they decided to implement it here in this game. So this is a win for them in this aspect, and I'm really excited that this worked out in terms of how you engage the open world as the player yourself. I will continue to play, and I'll continue to discuss some other aspects as we go on, which would be basically I would say level design and all of those things. Open world games are kind of tricky, so when you want to do your level design and when you want to I would say assess that, it's something that you have to be very careful about and play the game long enough so that you don't miss out on the repetitive contents that could be there. If you remember, for those of you who've played the other Assassin's Creed games, one of the things that you will basically suffer from is the repetition that the game starts to bring. So how do the developers plan on varying this game? That's a question that I intend to see later down the road. And then I think there might be a historical context as well, which will come in with the story and the narrative and the setting in terms of the lore, which I am very excited to dive into. So there's a lot ahead for this game, with exploring and taking time to just kind of comb my way through it. I'm really excited to be playing an Assassin's Creed game right now, and playing it before a Cyberpunk game or whatever that may be. But I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. What are your initial open world impressions for Assassin's Creed Valhalla? Let me hear them in the comment section, and hopefully we'll see in another video. Peace out.